Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Pilgrim's Well. We're starting a new series today on family and marriage. I'm here with Israel today. Welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Paul. Let's start with our first question. What is family?
So family is, I would say that is a basic building block for the whole society. So everything grows out of it, right? And it started when a man leaves his parents' house, a woman leaves her parents' house, and they hang together and they stand together as a couple, as a married couple, and they start a new family. So family starts with marriage, this a covenantal union between one man and one woman.
Sounds very basic growing up, but today that's a confusing topic.
Yeah, for sure.
Why is it important to study family and marriage?
Yeah, so in family, it's where we got our first impressions of the world. We got our character model and shaped by our parents or whatever is in our household. So, because the family is the building block of the whole society, if families go well, society goes well. So usually when there's something's wrong with church or with state or society, a nation, if we zoom in, probably we see something that there is something wrong with the families.
Yeah, I think your family really sets you off on your life course in a real sense.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't decide everything. There's a lot of decisions you have to make. There's a lot of reparations you can make.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's really decisive. And I think part of today's difficulty and challenges is that so many families are broken.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
And so I think it's we need to have instructions or an instruction manual really for what family and marriage is. So where do we go?
Well, this is another easy question. So the Bible is where you go. So the Bible is our manual for everything. It's sufficient, is our authority, and for marriage and family as well. So if you want to have a blessed life, a good family life, we have to go to this manual, the Bible.
Yeah. It's the one who designed marriage.
Yeah,
Is the one who can instruct how to have a good marriage.
That's it.
Right. I often talk with my friends, and we always say the best things in life are the hardest things in life. Right. Marriage, my marriage to my wife, is probably the hardest task in my life.
Yeah,
right. It
sure.
takes constant work, effort, changing in my own heart, and at the same time, it's the most beautiful part of my life on an earthly perspective. So I can see this question come up, right? If you talk about families and a beautiful family, you probably get this picture of, a family, a father, mother smiling at each other, the children in perfect posture at the table and doing whatever the parents want joyfully and all of that. But if you're going to take the Bible as a manual, I think the Bible has a lot of stories in the Bible that family doesn't work out so well. If you think about David and Solomon, Eli, Jacob, Abel, Cain. So how is the Bible going to be a manual when there's clearly challenging family situations in the Bible?
Yeah, this is hard because this is how our world is now. It's a fallen world. So we do have a manual, we do have the Bible, but it doesn't mean that we can follow everything perfectly. We are not, our sinful nature, it's so intense sometimes that we cannot do everything by ourselves. And that's when failures come, right? So it doesn't mean that we will not follow the rules, right? We have to do it because it is there, and we got promises that if we follow what is in the Bible, we will have blessings. So I think also these negative examples are good examples of what not to do in our families. So I think it's very important they are there in the Bible for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the challenging family situation, the Bible teaches us about grace, about a need for growth, about repentance, forgiveness. Everything we have in the Christian life, in the church, it's taking place in the family in the same way.
Yeah, right? That's it. And even Jesus' family was not perfect. You see his genealogy in Matthew chapter 1. You see a lot of broken families, and even out of this, God gave us the blessing of Jesus Christ, the perfect man, our groom. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm also thinking about when you said about Jesus' family, even his earthly family, he had challenges as well, because his brothers were basically rejecting him in his ministry.
Yeah.
Right? They turned against, in the end, I think they all came and understood who he was, but they turned against him as well.
Yeah, that's it.
So what are some pillars or rules of how do we start looking at the family?
Well, I would say that, first of all, and more generally, the summary of the Ten Commandments would be a good beginning. Just like love God above all and love our neighbors. But I want to be more specific a little bit. So I think about 5 main rules about family, on how to deal with family and marriage that the Bible describes. And there's those rules all over the places. We got Genesis 1, 2, and 3. We got Ephesians 5 in the New Testament. We got the whole book of Proverbs, which is incredibly filled with a lot of those practical wisdom about family and parenting. But the 5 rules that I should say that it's very important. The first one is a man should leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife. So this is very, very basic and important, because what happens sometimes is that the man or the woman, they do not leave their parents, and so they didn't leave them physically or emotionally. So this can cause a lot of trouble in the family. So the first step, I should say, is this: to leave parents. The second one is that men should love their wives as Christ loves the church. So this is a huge thing, and there's a lot inside that we can unpack later. So about sacrificial love, about be a prophet, priest, and king in house as a man, and the rule of man in the house and the household. So all of this will be here in this second rule. The third rule, I should say that women should be submissive to their husbands, which is a very, very polemical topic to deal with, and usually people don't know how to handle it. And we have this old feminism thing going on.
We look forward to you laying all of that out soon.
Yeah, it's hard. It would be hard. It would be hard. So that's the third. The fourth is that parents should raise their children in the discipline and nurture of God. And the fifth is that children should obey their parents in the Lord. So this would be, I think, the 5 main rules on how to deal with family and marriage.
Great. Yeah. I think that also gives us kind of an idea of where we're going to go next, and going through these different aspects. And So what would you say was God's purpose in creating marriage and family? Was it a necessity, or did he have a specific purpose with it?
Yeah, so when we see God creating things, when God creates things, he also reveals himself in those things. So the heavens declare the glory of God. So there are a signature of God in the things that he created. And in marriage and family, it's not different. So I think he was trying to display the glory of the gospel to the world through the families. Because if we take a look and observe more closely how the Bible describes the relationship of God and his people, is always in family terms. So God is our Father. We are brothers and sisters in Christ. He is our a husband, our faithful husband. We are his bride. So in those images, we have the gospel that Jesus Christ, he leave his Father's house, the heaven, to become one flesh to his bride. And this is it's marriage, a covenantal union between a man and a woman, between Jesus Christ and his church. So I think he wants to display the glory of the gospel through us.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think it's also, thinking about what you're just saying, the reason why Satan is so clearly attacking the family, and confusing with father and mother and children, those relationships, and confusing all of that. Yeah. I think it's with a purpose of people misunderstanding who God is.
That's exactly
right? Because the best life is a life that reflects God, and he has given us marriage as a joyful union, right? Joyful submission, joyful love, joyful parenthood, and joyful childhood
for sure.
in him. So, well, I'm excited about this series, brother. What are the things that our viewers can expect to be hearing in the next coming couple of series?
Yeah, it would be a lot of things. So, first of all, I want to go through how to choose someone to be your spouse. This is a very huge thing, because usually in our days, we just choose by, romantic love and those kind of Hollywood things.
Twinkle in the eye.
Yeah. So it's not a very good way to start. So usually when you do this, after you have a lot of problems and you find out something that you didn't know about it. So this would be my first point. And then I would try to go through the rules of men and women in a family, what it looked like, to be a husband in a house, how it looks like to be a wife, what that means, submission, and all those things will be a very polemical topic to deal with nowadays. And then I would like to talk a little bit about parenting, which is a challenge. And that's it. It's a lot of things. It looks like not, but if we unpack each topic, would be a lot of things to deal with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very good. Well, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this series and diving into this. One of the things I'm looking forward is seeing how to deal with conflict and between husband and wife, and between parents and children. Yeah. So all of that is coming up soon. Thank you so much today, Israel.
Thank you.
The Lord bless you, and thank you for watching. See you soon.